So this is the regular press conference by Minister Motegi. Over to you. There's one statement I would like to make at the outset. Vaccines, our provision of vaccines to foreign countries and regions. For the second batch of vaccine provision to Taiwan, which I mentioned before, necessary preparations have been completed. So the day after tomorrow, on the 8th of July, Japan will ship by air approximately 1,130,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccines. 10 years ago, in the aftermath of Great East Japan earthquake, Taiwan immediately sent Japan donations, and Taiwan has always been so generous in extending heartwarming support to Japan over the years. People in Taiwan continue to face difficulties, and I hope our provision of vaccines will contribute in preventing further spread of novel coronavirus in Taiwan. That's all from me. Thank you. Questions, please raise your hands, and once your names are called, please proceed to the microphones closest to you, and please state your name and affiliation before you ask your questions. Sato-san. I'm Sato, Asahi Shimbun. Indonesia, restrictions on entry and departure into and from Indonesia. For foreigners departing Indonesia, they are requiring vaccination, and there is some press reports that leaving of Japanese nationals from Indonesia could be jeopardized. It seems that the relaxation has been seen. However, what is your response?
Well, the Indonesian government, with the spread of the novel coronavirus in the country, have issued a notice as of 4th of July, and they made an announcement that they are going to enhance the restriction against the entry and exit of the foreigners. And if in case the foreigners who are the resident of Indonesia, when they are to move around in the country, it was mentioned that they must be vaccinated within the country. And based on that disclosure, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Japan Embassy towards the Indonesian government had made an inquiry in regards to the detail of the measures. And at the same time, we made the request that the movement of the Japanese resident would not be excessively restricted. And against the result, against that backdrop, we were able to confirm that when the foreign residents in Indonesia, when they are to move out of the country directly, we were able to confirm that it's not necessary for them to show the vaccination certificate. And this message had been communicated to the Japanese resident in Indonesia through the consul mail. In regards to the movement of the people within Indonesia, the certificate of the vaccination would be necessary continuously towards the Indonesian government. We are going to urge the Indonesian government and that the movement of the Japanese national would not be restricted excessively. Next question. Well, my name is Young, and I belong to the CNA in Taiwan. I have a question I would like to ask in regards to the debris flood that had occurred in the Atami, the city of Atami. There are many people in Taiwan who feel the pain. Well, President Tsai of Taiwan mentioned on Twitter that they are making the preparation to provide support to Japan. People of Taiwan would like to make a return back to the provision of the vaccine by Japan. I would like to know your view, Minister.
Thank you for your question. Well, I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude. We've experienced this torrential rain, and which has left significant serious damages, and President Tsai, Ing-wen, and many countries, regions, and organizations have sent us heartwarming messages, and they have offered support. And on behalf of the Japanese government, I would like to express heartfelt, deepest gratitude to all that have offered support. I've talked about Taiwan's support in the aftermath of Great East Japan earthquake, and between Japan and Taiwan. Japan and Taiwan have supported each other through on many occasions, including upon the occasion of major disasters, and this is a testament of our friendship. We will have to work out the details, but we seriously appreciate the expression of Taiwan's intent to support Japan. Thank you. Mr. Sushiro. Sushiro, thank you. Good morning. JIF Economic Monthly. And the 28th, the foreign ministers' meeting. On the 25th, your press conference was held, and approximately 1 million vaccines. On the 28th, which conference did you say? Ministerial meeting in Italy or foreign ministers meeting? Are you talking about me? Oh, Minister Dutono, the foreign minister of Indonesia, on the 28th. And I found this announcement on the webpage, and there are missing information. There is pieces of information that are missing. And the press conference held on the 25th, Indonesia, approximately 1 million doses vaccines. But Minister Retno, the foreign minister of Indonesia, officially announced 2 million doses. So which numbers is correct? And what are the AstraZeneca vaccines, are they made in Japan or in the United States? We would like to find out the details of the vaccines, AstraZeneca vaccines to be provided. And what about the treatment drugs? There is no mentioning on the webpage, so I would like to learn from you.
Well, in relation to Indonesia, we have supplied 1 million doses of vaccination already on July 1st. In regards to that matter, well, in Italy, at the G20, at the foreign ministerial, and also at the other development minister, when we had the French with the foreign minister of Indonesia, we have conducted the meeting, and where I mentioned that we are going to supply 1 million doses on July 1st, for which we were able to receive the word of gratitude. Currently, I believe in Indonesia, there is a very much of a challenge in relation to the spread of infection. In regards to the additional supply of the vaccination, we would like to work on the study. That is what mentioned. We didn't talk about the medication at that moment. Are there any additional questions? Son, please.
Thank you. Rocky Swift with Reuters. You've mentioned Taiwan and Indonesia, but do you have any more updates on other donations to other East Asian countries, other Asian countries that were due to start this month? And can you explain why these are made bilaterally and not through the COVAX program that you announced earlier last month? Thank you.
Let me say this first. As far as Japan is concerned, it's not just we are focusing just only on bilateral. From the viewpoint of multilateralism and international coordination and cooperation, in order to realize equitable supply of vaccines, there is only one international framework, which is COVAX facility. And we have been supporting COVAX facility and other international organizations. And as you all know, on the 2nd of June, vaccine summit we hosted together with Gavi, and the required vaccines by the end of this year, the financial contribution we were able to achieve firmly. So in the international framework, Japan has making significant contribution, which has been highly accredited by the international community. And through multilateral frameworks and through international organizations, and we will work closely with them as we have done in the past. And so far, AstraZeneca vaccines made in Japan has not yet satisfied conditions such as those to obtain approval by WHO. Given such circumstances, in the face of urgent request for vaccine supply from different countries and regions, we have provided vaccines on a bilateral basis to countries and regions which already have contracts with AstraZeneca. So we will do both on a bilateral basis and multilateral basis. And this has been done by other leading countries. So far, we have already provided 1,240,000 doses to Taiwan, followed by a provision of 1 million doses each to Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia. And by the end of this week, we will be providing 1 million each to both Thailand and the Philippines. And to Vietnam, we will provide additional 1 million doses. And for Taiwan, as I said earlier on the 8th of August, we will provide additional. Now, with regards to our support to COVAX, with the vaccine satisfying conditions such as those for WHO approval, we will, from mid-July, we will start to provide a total 11 million doses through COVAX to ASEAN, Southeast Asian and Southwest Asian and Pacific Island nations. For Pacific Island nations, the other day, Palm 9 was held, and Prime Minister Suga said that by the end of this year, 3 million doses, and the shipment will start sometime after mid-July with regards to our provision of vaccines to Pacific Island nations. Thank you. Other questions, please. Mr. Azhari.
Panoramic News. I would like to ask about the Middle East, Minister. The United States reportedly launched air raids against what it described as in the media as targets, Iranian targets in Syria and Iraq. In the same time, the Israeli Foreign Minister is visiting UAE for expanding peaceful relations. So it seems that war and peace is still the name of the game in the Middle East. So, and there are reports that you might visit the area. So what is Japan's position on the current situation and future prospects? Thank you.
Well, as was mentioned, the new independent administration in Israel had been established, and for the first time, as a foreign minister of Israel, the foreign minister Rapid have visited the UAE. As for Japan, we expect that such moves will lead and make contribution to the ease of the tension and the stability of the Middle East region. On the other hand, as Japan, well, in regards to the impact of the air bombing of the pro-Iran force in the border area by the United States included, we would, with the high sense of the tension, we would like to keep on monitoring the situation in the Middle East. As you may know, as for Japan, we have been able to build a very good relationship with the respective Middle East countries for many years, and we would like to establish such a relationship that we have with the individual countries. And for the sake of the peace and stability of the Middle East, we would like to coordinate closely with the related countries and continuously conduct a diplomatic effort. Are there any additional questions? Shiro-san, please. Well, I have a question in regards to the Olympics. I believe that you have issued the invitation to the VIPs. At this moment, I would like to know from which country people come.
よろしいでしょうか。それでは本日の会見以上させていただきます。ありがとうございました。